Hello everybody and welcome back to Monster Hunter Wilds. Now, as you can obviously see, progressed way further than where I was. And I will say, haven't had the best of luck recording or more just keeping the footage. The footage I had corrupted once again, but I'm really just here to fight 8 monsters that you guys missed out on. So I'll be dealing with those monsters. I will be killing them with my armor that I used when I first fought them, which was basically just the Doshiguma armor. I will use that after I fight the Doshiguma, but I will be using the Hope armor with the regular Hope Greatsword. I hope you guys enjoy it. Hope you guys are doing great, and I will see you at the end of the video. Alright everybody, so the first monster of the hunt is going to be a Quemitris. It's a brute wyvern, and most, if not all, of brute wyverns have this design, where they walk on all twos. They got the tail, kind of smallish arms. I actually like the design of this monster. I really love the design of this monster, actually. It's just a rooster if it was mutated to a T-Rex, which I love. I will say I did upgrade the Greatsword a little bit. My armor is going to be the same as how I had it for when I was actually first fighting these creatures. But the Greatsword is a little upgraded, and I might kill this Quemitris a little faster than I should because of the fact that it's upgraded. It's holding in there though, I will say. And just like that, it is dead. Really cool design, just a big ass rooster. I'm all about it. I think there are a few brute wyverns in the game, a few beast wyverns, a few leviathans, flying wyverns, fanged wyverns, which is all really good to see. The next monster we're going to be hunting, honestly I forget who's after this, so I guess we'll just wait and see. This monster we're fighting, I can say this about all of the monster designs, but she, specifically Lalabarina, looks really fantastic. She takes after the skeleton of Nursilla, which basically just means the model that they use for the designs of the monsters. And she is super cool. This is all of her webbing, which is just red, and it's really gorgeous. She herself, as you can tell, has white fur. She has kind of purplish, reddish, burgundy like legs. She doesn't have 8 legs like a spider does, but she is indeed a spider. That just goes without saying. Say she's an insect, so you're wrong. It's really cool because, so normally she just has her white fur, but the thorax, I think that's what it's called on a spider, opens up and buds like a rose, which is super amazing. And she's spinning right now like a ballerina, which is part of her moveset, which is honestly really dope. And these little things that she's kicking up right now, the little red things floating in the air, are actually they are little fur particles from her thorax. So when she spins, or when she does that, what she's doing right now, it'll kick fur off of her thorax, and it does what you see right now. It paralyzes you. If you touch these things that are floating, it will paralyze you. If you get hit by her needle that is in her thorax, that will also paralyze you. This monster is just all about paralysis and then doing a really heavy hit as soon as you're paralyzed, or just paralyzing you again. Like I said, really awesome design. That's kind of the extent to her moveset. Unfortunately, she is a lower rank of a monster. I thought when she was announced she was going to be a little harder. But to be fair, a lot of these monsters are just not too difficult, I say, as I'm getting my shit rocked by this spider. My gear, at least my greatsword, is completely up. Not completely updated, but it does hit really hard, so she is going to die a little faster than when I first encountered her. And since I have had time to not really study her moveset, but just get better at the game in general, it's not so difficult to just try and kill her when I first encountered her. But I expected her in the reveal trailer to be a little bit of a harder monster, really just because of the environment that she has, because she has an entire nest to herself. But that is Lalabarina. Really cool design, really cool fight. Let's move on to the next monster. Alright everybody, so this next monster we're fighting is called a Congalala. I don't know if he was a Monster Hunter Rise. I played through Rise, but I didn't play all the way through. I didn't really like it too much. I know for sure he wasn't in Monster Hunter World. The skeleton was used because they brought Rajang into Monster Hunter World. They did not bring Congalala. He's an older monster and they brought him back into the game, which is fantastic. And his moves are, the things he does are very unorthodox. He mainly just shits himself. It is gross. He is a cool design. He's a very fun fight. But I will admit, the moves are just gross in general. The cool thing about it though, whenever he eats a mushroom, depending on what mushroom it is, he will actually get abilities from that mushroom, like paralysis or poison or fire. It just depends on what he eats, which I think is super cool. These little monsters that look the same as him aren't they aren't Congalalas. They are called Congas. I forget honestly how they come to be. I don't know if they're a subspecies. I don't know if they're his kids. And I don't know if this is just like a quote-unquote alpha version of the Congas. I got hit really hard right there. I think he's angry. Let's see if we can wound him. Yes, we were able to. I honestly really like his design. He's just a fun monster. I mean, he's a beginner monster, so I mean, it's not like anything crazy, but he's definitely really unique. And I like that about him. I love unique monsters, especially if they have a niche theme to them. If they have their own niche. It's a monkey, and that's just his move. And he just got countered hard, and it's just... that's crazy. Awesome. Well, that was the fight with the Conga. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, so now this monster is going to be in this desert region. There's only a select few on the map. There's like desert, forest, lava, ice. Could be forgetting one. I probably am. But this monster is a Balahara, and it has a Leviathan design. It's really cool looking. It digs in the ground as a part of its moveset. Overall, it's just a pretty cool Leviathan monster. I was unfortunately not able to do the shoulder bash, which would be able to... Oh, that sucked. Let's see if we can mount him. And we were able to. What mounting does is you only do 1 damage, as you can see, but it wounds the monster's parts in that specific area. So now his back and his head are wounded. Now I can press my right bumper to do this finisher, and now he's down. Now it's my time to do pretty big damage to him. Mounting is pretty useful, and so is creating wounds on monsters. The more wounds you create, the more parts you'll have, which is really good, and the more materials you'll be able to craft. Luckily, I was able to get that counter off. And hopefully I can land this shot on his head. Nope, it's just the body, and I did get hit. Ooh, okay, I cut off his tail. Nice, nice. Shit, it's about to hit me. Yep. That's not good. The mount in this game is really fun. At times, I feel like it could be a little janky. I feel like the inputs in this game take a little long. Whenever I call him, I feel like it takes forever. And whenever I'm trying to do anything really, it feels like it takes quite a while. I don't know why. And the monster is currently fleeing because I'm doing good enough damage to it. When monsters flee, they typically just want to go to another domain of theirs that's in their area that they control. But it seems like he's going back to his lair. I put him pretty close to death. He's basically almost dead. Now it's just a matter of killing him, and it should be good. He is automatically angry, which makes sense. Debris is falling off the rock. Let's see if I can bring it down. If I can. And he's dead, just like that. Awesome. This game encourages traps, but personally I don't trap monsters unless it does yield you pretty good rewards when you trap it, but me personally, I couldn't be bothered, so I just kill. But this is Balahara. Really good monster, really fun, really good moveset. I did have trouble at first when fighting this monster, but now he's kind of okay. And yeah, let's get to the next one. Next monster we're hunting, Doshiguma. Honestly, I think it's one of the grosser looking monsters. It's not like disgusting or anything, but its face, like I think it has eyes, I'm not 100% sure. Its face looks like a fucked up, like, bear and dog mixture, and its body overall is just a bear. It's a beast. It's a beast wyvern. Yeah, it just looks fucking kind of gnarly, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, it's like a bear dog. So I've been seeing some comments, not necessarily on my videos, but I've just been seeing comments in general on other people's videos, because obviously, you know, I play Monster Hunter. I'm gonna watch Monster Hunter videos, mainly videos just on more just people's reactions on the game. FaZe Jev, for instance. FaZe Jev, this is his first Monster Hunter game. The video I was watching, I forget what the title was. I think it was the second Monster Hunter video he made. But he was basically just saying, like, his impressions on the game, that it was fun, but he doesn't understand a lot of concepts of the game. or necessarily just what he's doing. The weapon he's using is the hammer, and he was saying that it is both the most satisfying weapon and the most frustrating weapon that he's at least tried in the game, in his opinion, which I can understand. Oh shit, I meant to counter that, but that didn't work. No, yeah, he was just saying that the game was fun, but it was frustrating. He enjoys the game, but certain aspects of it are frustrating. It was funny in the video, he was yelling because he had mounted the arc veld that he was fighting. He was screaming no when he got dismounted from the arc veld. I don't think he understood why he got dismounted. If nobody knows like how you run out of stamina so fast or how you get dismounted after a mount, when you're on a monster, whether it's on their back or on their head, if they look like they're going to be hitting that body part that you're onto something, like if I mounted the Doshiguma and he hit his head on the ground and I was on his head, that would waste my stamina and I would be closer to dismounting. If I was on his back and he was kind of struggling to get me off, it would lead me to dismounting. Oh shit. Oh! Yeah! Woo! That was sick. That was actually my first clash that I ended up getting, which is super cool. He was on the monster when he mounted it. He was frustrated when he fell off of the monster. He only fell off because he was on one part of the monster for the entire mount, and that ended up messing him up more than helping him, because you do want to move around. The tutorial, it was more helpful, I feel like, in Monster Hunter World than it is in Wilds, but people who are in Wilds have come from World. At least that's what I think. I mean, me and a lot of my buddies who play came from Monster Hunter World, or Rise was actually their first game. The mounting mechanics in the game are the same as World. They're kind of just, I don't know, you stab the monster with either B or Y, or circle and triangle, depending on whatever controller you have. I'm not sure what the keybinds are for PC, but you stab the monster. If it's moving around, if you're on its back and it's moving around, or if you're on its head and it's moving around, you're going to want to brace with the right trigger or the R2. And if it's trying to hit you, just like hitting its head on something, or hitting its back on whatever, or hitting its tail on whatever, then you're going to want to move the body parts. Like I said, the tutorial's not that great in this game, at least in my opinion. If they're moving, brace. If they're going to hit you off or hit their body into something, move from that part onto another. That's really the only advice I could give. I also noticed in his video, FaZe Jev's video, the counters weren't really working and they're kind of hard to time. I don't know how the counter works with hammer. I think if you do triple Y and on the third hit, then it could do a counter, and I think you could actually hold down that third button as well. I'm not 100% sure. I think you can. Overall, I really liked Jev's reactions. I really liked his video. I like that, you know, this is the first game he's played, and I do think it's a really good game for beginners, just because I feel like it's really easy. In my opinion, at least, I think it's really easy. It could be because I'm a veteran Monster Hunter. It could be because I've played World and this is just basically the exact same as World. Or it could be both. I do think this is a really good game for beginners. And I think if anyone was... I'm gonna get hit. No, I'm not. Maybe I am now. I do think if anyone did want to try out Monster Hunter, that this would be a really good first game for them to try and to get in the hang, to the swing of things. Although I do firmly believe that you should play Monster Hunter World first, then play Monster Hunter Wilds. The story has nothing to do with one another. I think World is a really good starter. It's more challenging than this is, at least in my opinion, especially in the early game to mid game, and even in late game, it's still a really good challenge. And Wilds basically took Monster Hunter World and made it better. I think that Monster Hunter World has better lighting than this game. I think the lighting in Wilds could be way better. And I think that the resolution in Wilds could be way better too. Performance, obviously, way better as well. The game just came out. It needs to be polished a little bit more. It's definitely not a bad game by any means. For as good as it is, it needs improvements, in my opinion. Really, if they just fixed the lighting and the performance, I would be way happier with this game than I already am. I don't know exactly if they're going to want to fix the lighting, because I don't think that they believe that the lighting is a problem. I do know that they have mentioned performance and that they want to fix the performance, and I'm glad that they have at least acknowledged performance issues and that they do want to fix them and that they will be fixing them. We just don't know when. I've also been seeing that people are complaining about that the monsters have no health bar. I just have a question for them. Why are you complaining about that? There was a comment that said they don't like that there's not a health bar for the monsters. They said that Monster Hunter fans will defend not having health bars just because it's been part of the game. There's plenty of telltale signs that the monster is dying or at least low health. There are plenty of signs showing that a monster is just low health or whatever. When you're breaking monster parts, like breaking off tails, breaking the head, breaking arms, whatever, not wounding but breaking them is a pretty good sign that they are getting lower and lower. And not only that, if you look right here on the bottom, basically the bottom right part of my map, you can see that there's a little, it's like a heart sensor. When a monster is healthy, it should be beating like blue. When it's getting lower, it should be like yellow, orange, or red. And I know that that's how it was in Monster Hunter World. This, I've just noticed it going from blue to red. But that's just what I've noticed because I'm not always looking at the heartbeat monitor of the monster. It's a good sign if you want to know when the monster's getting low and when they're about to die. But regardless, the people who are complaining about there being no health bar in Monster Hunter games need to realize that, one, it's not an issue. Two, if you think it's an issue because you're just used to having health bars in other games, it's a different game, and not everything is just going to have health bars. I'm a big Dark Souls fan, and I don't mind when things have health bars, but I also don't mind Monster Hunter where things don't have health bars. So it's really not a big issue to me whether or not something has a health bar, because if the monster's limping, you know it's about to die. If you're looking on the minimap and it has a skull on it, it's about to die, and it probably wants to go lay in its nest, and then you can set up bombs or traps or whatever you want in order to kill it. Point is, there's not going to be a health bar in this game. If you want one, play PC, get a health bar mod for the monsters. It's just, honestly, like, just get over it. It's not that big of a deal. It's just a staple of the game, and it's gonna remain that way. The next monster we're gonna be fighting is actually getting jumped by all these things, and he is not looking great. They deadass jumped him, refused to elaborate any further, and then just left. That's great. So this monster is called a Rompompolo. At first I thought it was a monster from Monster Hunter World called Rabadon because of all the oil and stuff that I saw. But I very quickly realized that was not the case. I might get fucked up here. Never mind, I'm good. When I saw his face, it looked like a mosquito, and he kind of looks like a mosquito. The face is kind of a mixture between a bug and a bird. The tail's definitely reminiscent of like scorpion tail somewhat. And I think what he does is he inflates his body with air and his own toxin, pumps it into the oil in the ground. It blasts back up at you. I think it's cool. I just don't know how, I guess, that whole thing works, because he can aim where he's going to have that like poison shoot up at you, which is cool. Right now he is currently inflated. I also think he can like swim in the oil, not 100% sure. But I swear when I first fought him, he was covered in oil. Unless he just looked like this and then was inflated afterwards, but I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. Now, on the bottom left, the monster has a skull on it, so he wants to flee, he wants to go back to his nest. He's also limping, signifying that he's just really fucked up. Regardless, he's having a bad time. I'm having a great time. I don't know if I've said this or went over this before either, but all, if not most of the monsters have a one-shot move that they can do. Well, I say one-shot, but it can be a one-shot if you're not careful, but it does a lot of damage. All, if not most of the monsters have a move that will just instantly kill you. If it doesn't instantly kill you, then it will just do a lot of damage to you. But going back to watching videos, seeing people's reactions and stuff to the game, Jev is kind of the only person I have been, I guess, wanting to watch and wanting to react to see his reaction to everything. But besides Jev, I've seen some YouTube shorts and even TikToks about people giving the best tips or whatever, giving tips on how to get the best armor, the best jewels, the best whatever, blah blah blah, have this, use this, it's gonna be the best. And if you want to go that kind of route when you play, you know, this game or whatever, like, go ahead. Me personally, when I was first playing and like starting off in Monster Hunter, there was never really just tutorials or whatever for, oh, you're gonna want to use this so it'll be the best, or this and that, whatever. When I was playing Monster Hunter, like, however, like 10-12 years ago, obviously I was little and less initiated, you know, with the game. Now I'm initiated, and I didn't really care about any of the armor sets or anything at the time being, and what the skills did or whatever. I just thought having a big sword on my back and just hitting monsters with it was the best thing ever. And that's really all I cared about. And then eventually, as I kept playing the game, because it was my favorite game to play at the time, I learned what the skills do and I learned how they could help. If you want to take the tips and tricks from all these people, I say go for it. But honestly, I think to have the best experience, just play the game like how you would normally play a game. I wouldn't look up any tutorials for it. I wouldn't look up the best gear, the best weapons, whatever. And just play the game how you want to play it. I think that's the best way to have fun. I might get hit right here. Yeah, holy shit. He really fucked me up. Oh shit. Yeah, anyways, if you want to go that route and just, you know, get all the best stuff, whatever, just follow these people and what they say or whatever, like, go for it. but I do genuinely think that it's gonna ruin the game, only because you're going off of someone else is saying that you should play the game. When I first introduced my friend to Monster Hunter, he was telling me, oh, I watched this and that from YouTube, and you should do this. And I'm like, you know, thank you for the advice, but also I'm not gonna play the game how you want me to play it, or how this YouTuber says that I should play it, because that's just like that just ruins the experience of the game. Oh shit! Yeah, with me, I never had tutorials or whatever growing up saying that this is the best thing to get at this stage in the game, and then this is what you want to do late stage of the game. I do think some tips and tricks can be useful and valuable. If you're just genuinely struggling in the game and you don't know what to do, or you don't know where to start, then I think some tips can be useful. Like, here are some beginner tips that I wish I knew when, you know, playing Wilds. But typically the people who give out those kind of tips are people who are also barely just starting Wilds as their first game, which is okay, but I personally don't take any tips, only because this isn't my first Monster Hunter game, and most of the tips and tricks that I've seen people give, I have already known, but I know other people might not know. Definitely not saying that all the tips and everything are horrible, because they're not. I do think some of them are good, but I also do think some can ruin the experience. Like, there was this farm going around on, if you wait till nighttime on a map and then do a quest, go to these locations as you're in that quest, collect these flowers, then you can just keep collecting those flowers basically up until there's not a full moon anymore at nighttime. Then you can sell all those flowers to get armor spheres or things to make jewels with, sell all of them to get like an infinite amount of jewels or whatever. Like, that's just one of the tutorials, or not even tutorials, but like tips or trick that I found. I knew something similar to that, but I didn't know exactly what to do to that extent that they had shown in like the YouTube short. Is it useful? Yes. Does it ruin the experience of the game? Yes and no, because I'm used to farming gems, especially in Monster Hunter World, where you'd have to fight certain monsters. You'd have to fight tempered monsters, and they would give you jewels, but the jewels weren't always guaranteed to be great, and you weren't always going to get the ones that you wanted. The part of the monster, and if it was tempered, along with if the monster was just hard and it was tempered, then it would give you better rewards, but you wouldn't be guaranteed the jewel that you would want. And it's the same thing in this game. You're not necessarily guaranteed certain jewels, although it is weird that you can craft attack jewels, which I am certainly still not used to, but you also can't just put attack jewels on any piece of armor like you were able to in Monster Hunter World, because now in this game you have certain armor sets that you can put certain jewels on. If you have an armor set, you can only put defensive jewels on it. If you have your weapons, you can only put offensive jewels on it. And I don't know how to feel about the entire thing where you have to only put certain jewels on certain pieces of equipment, but that's just in my opinion. Hello everybody, you made it to the end of the video. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for sticking all the way through. I made a little bit of a longer video because I know that the last one was about 8 minutes or so. All I know is it's pretty short, and the one before that was also a little shorter. So I decided to make the longer video today because we had to go over all the monsters that we missed since the footage got corrupted, and I also felt like spoiling you guys with just a little bit of a longer video today. I know towards the end when I was talking about the tips and tricks, kind of repeating myself a little bit, and it seemed a little hypocritical when I'm saying for you guys not to listen to anybody giving tips and tricks, but I'm also giving you a tip of saying not to listen to those people. Point is, you should do whatever you want and whatever you think will give you the best experience while playing this game. It's an amazing game, it's really fun, and I encourage anybody to play it. And if you do want tips and tricks, let me know down in the comments. I can make a separate video or a short on it. And let me know down in the comments as well what weapons you guys would like me to use on upcoming videos. I'm down to try anything. I can play a lot of weapons, so please just let me know. Regardless, I hope you guys have a great day, have a blessed day, and I'll catch you in the next video.